Welcome to History Adventuring. This is episode number 539. I'm Brad Hall, and today we're driving an MG Midget to Phoenix, Arizona in 1977. Time travel with me back to 1977, and let's drive an MG Midget from Minneapolis to Phoenix. Although in this podcast, I usually time travel in my imagination, I actually did this. I was 19 when I moved myself from Minneapolis to Phoenix, and I did it in an MG Midget. If you've never seen an MG Midget, I'll see if I can describe it to you. Just imagine two motorcycles next to each other. Two very small motorcycles. Every once in a while, I still see an MGB out on the Phoenix streets, but I never see midgets anymore. The Midget was the smaller version of an MGB, which may boggle your mind if you've ever seen an MGB, which is itself a very tiny car. An MG is a roadster, not a convertible. And the difference between those two things is that a convertible, you put the top down in nice weather, whereas with a roadster, you always drive topless, except in extreme weather. I drove across the United States in the summer, which was glorious. I brought along everything that I would need to start a new life in Arizona. As I recall, I had a small bag of golf clubs, a tennis racket, a drawing board, and possibly some other stuff. MG Midgets weren't cars that carried a lot of stuff, and it didn't go very fast. There was a song that was popular later called I Can't Drive 55, and it really was the theme song for the Midget. The speedometer didn't work, but somewhere out in the middle of nowhere there was a sign that registered my speed as 54. It was probably Nebraska. I drove down through Omaha and remember being amazed at how much there was of Nebraska. I made one stop and a truck stop, where I got myself cleaned up. I think it cost 50 cents to use the showers. I slept in the car as well as I could. I must have been more flexible at 19. I'd never even heard of sunscreen. So by the time I got to Phoenix, I was pretty toasted. I got a newspaper, looked for an apartment, had time to look at two places before the sun went down, decided on the first one I had looked at, parked the MG in its very own parking space, and looked forward to a new life in Phoenix. The air conditioner didn't work in that apartment, ever, but the place was cheap. I was very happy in Arizona, and still am. I was born in the summer of my 19th year, coming home to a place I'd never been before. This has been History Adventuring. I'll talk to you later.